amazing. Yeah. Yeah, no, I had a lot of real close encounters. The whales were very curious that day. And lots of them. I was in the water for about an hour and a half and they didn't let up the entire time. It was amazing. Yeah, I definitely recommend it if you can get out. Yeah.
He's so fired up about it.
Yeah.
Some pretty good promo.
Yeah. Yeah, Lori's asking, does Sea North do? Yeah, so Sea North does do the snorkeling tours. So a lot of the boats that we see out, not Sea North 2, what we just had pass by there, but there's Zodiacs, the black ones, like that we see quite a bit, and the people, they oftentimes come up, the drivers come over to say hi. You'll see on the backs of some, one's actually coming in from the mouth right now. They'll have a little flag on the back with the dive flag, or a post in the back, and it's got the dive flag on top. So those are the ones, or if you see them and they all got their black wetsuits on, like what I was wearing yesterday, they're the ones heading out to go snorkeling. So yeah, Sea North does all that as well. They're busy, those guys over there. They got quite a few Zodiacs, and then of course Sea North 2 there. But I recommend it big time if you guys get the chance to ever head up this way.
They've got I think another Zodiac and some kayaks and paddle boards like stuck down in Thompson right now.
What's that, sorry?
How's the whales been?
Good. We started off near a sloop, and the visibility was unreal, and we had loads of whales. And then we just came back down here. We were following them down towards the mouth, and they've been pretty solid all day. Cool, sounds good. I'll let you know if we come across anything.
Got a bunch right there, like 7.
Yeah, so yeah, that's actually a good point. The Sea North, they also do paddle boards now, which is the second year that they've been doing them. They've got like 7, is that right? 7 or 8 paddle boards? I tried to book it a couple times, and it's pretty desirable. Lots of people are excited to get out, so oftentimes it's booked up. And then they got a lot of kayaks. There's like a small army of people coming up. When I went over to the launch there yesterday afternoon, just when they were getting ready to go out to paddleboard. And yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of people going out. They got a lot of kayaks, but it's super fun too. The people I've chatted with that have done it all had a really good time.
Yeah,
some whopper waves.
The paddleboarding I really like if you go with a group, because I think you can go like max 6 or so, and
you can go what, sorry?
Like maximum with 6 or so people, and so if you have a couple friends you go with, then your group's pretty much just you guys.
Yeah.
And since we know Erin, like, it was just a lot of fun. We were just kind of like hanging out there.
She seems really good. I've only met her maybe once or twice briefly, but everyone's got really good. We got some whales right behind us. Everyone's got really good things to say about her, and they say she does a really good job.
She does the yoga in town too.
Oh, really? And I've heard that yoga is awesome.
Yeah, it's
I
like
think
$2.
Karen said that it was better than what she was getting in some of the cities. I should go try it. I've been, like we were talking about stretching and all. I do a lot of that now, like from sitting on the boat and stuff here every day. Yeah. But maybe I should go try out some yoga rather than doing my own version at home. It's probably not the same.
It's a pretty good deal. It's an hour for $2. So
yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, that's a really good deal. And for getting a good class like that too.
Yeah.
That's all done over at the complex.
I've only ever gone on Mondays, and I've gone like 3 or 4 times, but apparently like the Wednesday and Saturday ones, it's like a different style.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able, they don't do the hot yoga, but I don't know if I'd be able to manage through an hour or whatever it is, hour and a half. Some of the classes are of hot yoga.
Yeah.
Geez, I don't know, like, they say you sweat pounds of water off in those classes. And yoga's hard enough as it is, you know, to hold poses.
Yeah.
Let alone adding heat to and you're not allowed to drink water or nothing in there, or, jeez.
That does not sound like a good time.
Yeah, I tried once, I committed, because I think yoga's beneficial. It's just tough, I guess. I gotta set the time aside to do it. But I committed to 30 days of it, and I enjoyed it. The only thing that I found myself at the end, it was online, so it's like a 30-day yoga challenge. So I just went online and clicked on each day on the video and and it varied in time and length. People should try it if you're interested or wanting to see. It's very basic, so it's not anything too intense. The only thing I can do is, I think they call it shavasana at the end, where you like meditate.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, yoga done, time to go back to work.
She does that at the end on Mondays, and like I've fallen asleep every time, like within a minute.
Yeah.
Like it's so bad, and I snore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'll just like pass out in the gym on my back.
Yeah. That's funny.
Guys get really relaxed.
Oh yeah, every time you do a session of yoga or something, you just feel like a wet noodle when you're just all loose. You feel good.
Yeah.
Lori's saying that wave there. She'd love to try the paddleboarding. Oh, there we go. Talking about whales coming in hot. Holy, those guys just plowed out of the water behind the boat. Yeah, if you haven't tried paddleboarding before, like when I first got on one, it just takes a minute, right? You topple over a few times, but if you just take a breath and center yourself, it's not too bad, and get familiar with the paddle, because once you put your paddle in the water and start pulling, that kind of throws you off kilter.
Yeah.
It doesn't take too long to get a feeling for it though, and then you're ripping on her.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it. People do yoga on paddleboards too. I've seen people doing like handstands and stuff on them. I don't know how they can manage that, but
I've been like trying to teach myself how to do handstands.
yeah,
Not going so well.
it's hard.
Yeah.
Look at them all right at shore. They're like maybe 20 feet off the beach towards the fort. There's quite a few of them over there. Just headed back in here. You're getting a little bit of buffering happening, I guess. It's strange, at the beginning of the summer we were able to make it out to that green buoy sometimes, and now lately we can't even get up to the fort.
It's weird.
Seems like the wind's picking up now, eh?
Yeah, starting to get that chill.
Yeah, and then the waves are getting a little more aggressive. It's kind of an east wind a little bit. That's what it seems to be, where it seems to be blowing from. Southeast, maybe.
I wonder if belugas ever like mistime their blow at the top and like get a
slurp up a bunch
mouthful
of
of
water.
water.
Yeah.
So I know like people screw up stupid things like that all the time, and I've no other animals screw up things. Like
Yeah.
I've seen a goose fly into a tree before. So like,
Really?
yeah, I was looking over its shoulder at us at our boat as we were going by, and it was just like
Really?
right into a pine tree.
And then was it able to fly away, or was it pretty?
It fell for a bit.
Yeah. Caught it off guard.
Like they seem so graceful. They have to do something clumsy every now and then.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of bees fly into each other by accident. Just like
Really?
Clyde's heads and fall back.
Holy, that'd be a rough one too. That would hurt.
Yeah.
Choppy. I think with the tide now, these waves are not uniform at all. They're sort of kind of coming at us in all directions.
Yeah. If you look that way, it looks like they're coming towards us. Then you look this way, and it looks like they're going straight sideways.
Random. Also, Pan got up the link for Sea North, and that'll let you guys know kind of what they're all about, what different things they offer. And Lori's saying the belugas, they'll come up really close to shore. That was when I see them behind the complex when the tide's out. It seems like they're right, like you can just walk in and go where they are. And yesterday snorkeling with them, we were in shallow water, and they do just really well. It doesn't seem to bother them being in. I could see the bottom, and they'd still be stacked, 4 of them high, like overlapping each other.
Yeah.
And so with the paddleboarding, you can venture out a ways. Like it's that first buoy, right? We talked about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where they'll let you get out there, but oftentimes I don't even know if you really have to. The whales seem to be spending more time at launch, getting up quite a bit closer.
Like we paddled pretty much right across the river, like just because we were having fun paddling.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Like you feel it in your shoulders and your back, and when you're done, you're kind of gritting down and squatting and pulling with the paddle. Your legs are getting it too.
Yeah.
We watched the Costa Rica team, competitive paddleboarders, and that's cool watching those guys. They fly. Oh, crisscrossing.
Got one right in front of us here too.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't beach much. Who was saying? Oh, I think Jocelyn was saying yesterday that. So when the capelin are spawning, we were talking about that, and when they're coming into shore, it's just thick. And I talked to Randy, another guy in town. There's a bunch of adults there. He was saying how they go down with pails when the capelin move in, and it was around Canada Day. And you just dip your pail in, and you got a full pail of capelin. Like that's how much there are. And she was saying the belugas are like up on the rocks, just like I don't know, just chowing on these capelin. So they do get up pretty close, right up on the beach, like in the really shallow water, but they somehow manage to get back out, which is good.
Like,
Here's a big group here on the side. It's going to be tough to follow them if they keep going in that direction. We might be getting wet.
Yeah, on a Canada Day for the Bay Dip, there was like a gray, it just looked like a gray mass, like a foot wide strip at the bottom, like right near shore. Then you get up closer and it was just a bunch of capelin, like
Really?
all along the beach.
That's cool.
It just looks like a bunch of algae or seaweed or something, but it was just all fish.
It'd be cool to see. Well, they're hanging out with us now. Big group. Sweet. Battle through the waves.
They're just like floating there. They're not really even moving.
weather. We're going against the current now, and these waves, it's keeping us fairly stationary. The visibility is actually not too bad still, eh?
Yeah.
Like it's definitely got a little more murky, but
You can still see 3 good layers of belugas, so.
pardon?
You can still see 3 layers of belugas,
Yeah.
so. If that's any measure of water depth.
3 belugas deep. I don't know if they've. For question here about the whales beaching themselves, I'm not sure if they've figured out. I know one of the reasons they said if orcas come in the area, they've had beluga whales just trying to escape. They end up beaching themselves by accident, trying to stay away from the orcas. That's one reason. I'm not sure of any others. I'm sure they know of a few, but I think it is in some cases still a mystery why the whales beach themselves. Yeah, it's getting choppy. These aren't like the big rollers, the swells that we had coming in the other day, where you can kind of just ride them out. These ones it's just choppy water. We had at the mouth, we had a north wind, and it just was, these big rollers are coming in. It's fun out on the water that day. It's chilly. Still got a few with us.
Just off to the right there.
Oh yeah, there we go. Couple whales under the boat. We're getting pictures piling up here.
On a murkier day, you would just think that there's one there, but there's like 5.
Yeah.
Quite the pod on the side here.
Yeah, it's getting tough to maintain a straight path here. The wind, it catches the mast on the boat, and not sure what the on deck images look like. It's gonna be looking probably a little choppy here now for you guys at home. Hopefully it's not too bad.
They're coming right under us.
Yeah, they're
Hard right.
hanging out down there. Oh, we're getting lots of images in.
So how do I go about developing a career based around belugas?
Yeah, I know. And specifically being in the water with them throughout most of that career. Laurie's asking if they prefer hot or cold. That's one of the reasons they believe the whales come to the estuary each year, is just because it's the warm water here, and that's supposedly aids in molting. And then also it's good for the calves. So they've given birth now, and the calves being in the warm water, then they have to use up less of their resources or their energy to stay warm, and they can focus more on growing big and strong. Be a rough one heading back.
No kidding.
They'll be fighting the waves and the current.
A bit of a bumpy ride.
Yeah. I don't know where that group went. I kind of was paying attention to the steer in the boat here and lost sight of the group. Laurie's asking if I've ever gotten seasick. No, not really. Even on other boats that I've been on, I've never really had an issue with it. You know, maybe like you get a hint of like, oh, and then, I mean, it's never been anything serious or to be concerned about. Yeah, like right now, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
This would be the time to do it if I was prone to seasickness. I was wondering that about Sea North. I was like, I wonder if they have like a sponsorship with Gravel or something. You know, bringing out all those tourists every day. I thought there must be some of them, or you know, they get seasick, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much of an issue it is with them.
I'm so glad.
Pardon?
I'm so glad I'm a person that doesn't get any kind of motion sickness or anything like that.
Oh, I get car sick, and it's terrible. I'm just so used to driving. 99.9% of the time I'm driving, but then on the off chance that we're, you know, going biking or something, that's the worst ones, is our trips to BC to go biking, and we're all in a van, and then you're sitting in the back, and oh, it's terrible. I just turned green. I'm so used to being the one that's, you know, operating the vehicle.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be the passenger. And on those windy roads and up and down, but it doesn't transfer over to seasickness at all.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I was getting it, you know, that would have been at the beginning of the year, and I would have had to be used to it by now, hopefully.
Yeah.
It'd be a long summer if you just couldn't get over your seasickness.
Some people at work get like helicopter sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we go out sampling. We'll go to like 15 ponds in a day, and so it's like a lot of up and down, and it's not like smooth up and down. It's not like you see it and you're going in. It's like, oh, and now I'm just gonna like veer hard left. Like you'll look out your window and see the ground instead of like seeing the horizon. And it's like, oh, okay, down we go.
Yeah.
But I had no problem. I like took the backward facing seat, which is apparently like the worst seat for that. And I'm like, no, I'll be fine. And I had no problem.
That's pretty good. I've never been in a chopper.
I was like, I didn't expect to this summer. The position I interviewed for, they asked if I'd be okay with it, and I said yeah, but then I was offered a different position.
Oh.
So I'm like, fingers crossed, and then I ended up able to go out three times, or I guess technically 5